So welcome everybody, welcome all my beautiful friends out here who have cared to join me and have actually started something different. It's like when one person hops on to something that is so new, that is so different, and that has a certain amount of also a certain amount of, I wouldn't call it fear, but I'd call it an inquisitiveness as to what is that really, right? It's like conscious parents, conscious kids. That's the class which, when I was in Rome um, for the CF training, and we had a meeting on for this. And just to give you a little background to it all, and when this started, it was like, okay, let's have a meeting. Let's talk about conscious parents, conscious kids, what that means, how are we supposed to go about it. So we were about 20, 25 people sitting together and talking about this. And what really, really came to me at that time was that our kids are conscious. There's really not much work to be done there. It's not much to be changed there. It's the parents that were born as kids, as conscious, if not more, and then suddenly, slowly, almost like a very slow process, we began to undo everything that we knew, everything that we were told, and we started to believe everything that was told to us. And that's when the journey of the unconscious began. Can you all hear me clearly?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Would you get them? Yes, fine. Okay. So the journey of that unconsciousness, which started with us as parents, we very happily hand it over to our children. Not as a wrongness, not as something that we as parents are not good enough, or that we are nasty, or that we are mean, but we don't know any different. That is what we have bought as true. That is what we have believed is true, is real. That is what we have bought the point of view that the more we are able to control our kids, the more we are able to tell them what to do, what not to do. We are that term, hands-on parents. I am really a hands-on parent. I know what exactly is happening all the time with my kids. How many of us have actually said that? Right? And how many of us are always proud that we are hands-on parents?
Yes.
Right? And with that term of hands-on parents, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean that you have to monitor everything that the child is eating, drinking, doing it all? Or is it just that awareness of what the child is doing and bringing the child to an awareness of the choices that he's making? Of showing them the future of possibilities, the future, that new generation of possibilities, with every choice that the child is making today. To show him that if you don't want to study, that's fine, but that's a future that you are creating of possibilities or of problems. Right? Is it going to be an easy parenting? I really think it is going to be. Much easier than us whacking our kids and shouting and screaming all the time and getting our blood pressures. Right? I would love to have some questions from you.
I have a lot of questions, not as a parent. However, I've been dealing with kids for 14 years. And as a teacher, and I have been at one point of time a very very, I don't know, in maybe the voice of kids, very nasty. So because I am very particular about certain things, so now I gave up, and I have given up because it ultimately, the reason was not that I somehow became conscious, as the word is, but because it was affecting my health. And I really became sick at certain point of time, and I realized that anger is damaging me more than anybody else. So however, now that that giving up also has meant that somehow I've become very indifferent to what they are doing. I mean, I just feel it's my job to go and teach and rest if whatever they do is not should not bother me. However, it's like I don't care, but I do care. It's like I still cringe, and I still get feel bad if something is happening, but I also don't want to take any action. So I mean, I don't know whether what kind of a question I have, but there is something that I want to be sorted here. Hello.
First, let me just let everyone here know that I have this beautiful Nidhi Sharma who was just talking, who is one of my hosts, along with fabulous Saurabh Bidani. And I
Okay.
thank you both for hopping on to this new, this challenging, this exciting journey with me. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, you're most welcome. It's
Thank,
magical.
Thank
thank
you.
thank you. Yeah, now coming to you, darling, I would like
Hmm.
to ask you a question here.
Yeah.
What really is your question?
That's what I do. I have a question. I can't figure out like how to deal with this or what is going on here. I keep asking, and I don't. I maybe I don't know how to deal with it after 14 years also. I find the coming generations very difficult. The only way I know to deal with them is to be strict, uh, and no, I don't find any other way.
All right.
I have never been successful any other way.
Okay, that's interesting. It's interesting to see all those conclusions in your conversation, right? I don't
Hmm.
know any other way. The only way I can deal with them is being strict.
Hmm.
There is really no question. What if being a teacher is like being a facilitator, right? What if being a teacher is like probably an access consciousness facilitator, where you don't really make them wrong, you don't really show them where they're going wrong and how they're going wrong, or
Hmm.
that even that they are wrong,
Hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
actually showing them the possibility of what can be created by asking questions. And what if it's not your responsibility, Nidhi?
Hmm.
What if it's not your responsibility to be taking care of them? What if it's just being you in class,
Hmm.
having fun with teaching? Have you asked to have fun with teaching?
No.
Because it's not supposed to be fun, right?
Because we are so
That's
busy
scary.
meeting deadlines.
Yeah, you're meeting deadlines. If you're meeting
Yeah.
deadlines, how can it be fun?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the same as when you're parenting. How can it
Hmm.
be fun?
Hmm.
I mean, parenting can't be fun. You're always screaming. You're always worried about खाना नहीं खाया, खाने के लिए क्या बना, is it healthy, is it not healthy, पढ़ाई हुई, homework खत्म हुआ, नहीं हुआ. How
Hmm.
much of how many deadlines are there as a parent?
Yes.
Pretty much the same as
Hmm.
a teacher,
Yes.
right? And how many responsibilities have you decided you have?
Okay. Yes.
So is that fun?
No. Not at all.
What if you could look at everything as a
Yes.
choice that the child is making?
Hmm.
See, you must have heard this very often in Access, and sometimes it's frustrating when a facilitator just turns around and gives you this one.
Yeah.
Or you can look at it as a choice. It's like, but I want to change this, not just look at it as a choice, because I'm a parent here, I'm a teacher here,
Hmm.
right? So, yes, what if you can actually look at it as a choice that the teacher's that the child is making? And what if you
Hmm.
can ask a question like, what can I do?
7:30 में चाबी दो.
What energy, space, and
I'll
consciousness
give
can
it 8:15, Nishka. I'm
Hello.
doing something else now.
So what energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be that can have this child choose differently?
Okay.
Okay, it's about you being the space. This is the magic. This is the magic of this class, Conscious Parents, Conscious Kids. It's such a phenomenal class. I mean, when I got the material and I was like, fuck, really? I mean, why the hell didn't I choose to become a facilitator of this class before? There's just so much of magic out there, so many tools out there that can actually change, that can actually give so much of, I would say, that would liberate the children. It would liberate you as parents, you as teachers. Right? So just by asking a question, see, you must realize one thing, friends, here, that when you are being a parent or a teacher, are you playing a role? Or are you just being the space of what that child requires from you?
Okay.
All right? Most
Yes.
of us are playing a role. Most of us are deciding that we have to do this, we have to do this. I'm a mother. If I'm not doing it, then I'm not being a good enough mother. Then people will judge me. Mother-in-law will say, mother will say, friends will say. When we sit together for lunches and kitties and we go out for picnics, everybody will discuss how much their kids did, how much they didn't do. What am I going to say? Right? So is it really about your child or is it really about you? And everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shots, boys and beyonds. So again, is it about you as a parent? Is it about you as a teacher? Or is it about the child?
It's about the child.
Yeah, it's about the child. But unfortunately, we don't make it about the child. And especially when you're a teacher, Nidhi, you have a whole lot, you are dealing with probably 30 children, 40 children, 50 children at one time.
Yes.
Each one of them comes from a different energy. Each one of them comes from a different background. To use a simple lay language in this reality, it's a different background. But it's actually a different space that the children are really coming from.
Yes.
Right? And when the children go to school from that space, they also have to adapt to a different space, which we don't even look at. Because the kids have a fabulous capacity to just shift, to just, oh, okay, this is what is required. Oh, okay, I'll do that. I'll do this. I'll do that. It's just so simple. So how much of the wrongness that we are actually looking at our children today as teachers, as parents, is actually our kids adapting, is actually our kids shifting molecules around them so they can create income. And what do we look at it as? We look at it as a wrongness. And what are you doing? Why can't you just sit down and just settle?
Yes.
What have you learned in school? Parents come back, parents tell their children. Teachers say, what have your parents taught you? What if that's just a child shifting molecules? And when there is a shifting of molecules, there is a shift in their space, which you recognize. But instead of looking at it as a difference, as something that's changing, we look at it as a wrongness. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's some fabulous tools, Nidhi, and thank you for coming on and asking that beautiful question because, yes, conscious parents, conscious kids, it's wonderful to have a teacher on, right? And a teacher hosting the class. It's like, how much of a contribution can that be to this world?
Yes.
Because if parents are bringing up the kids, how much of parenting do teachers do?
Yeah,
Right?
I think we do 24 hours of parenting nowadays.
Yes. And everything that is, can we please destroy and uncreate?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, hot and pot. All 9 shots, boys and beyonds. Yeah. Any more questions here, friends? Any more questions? Any more Anything that you want to know more about what this class has to offer? Nidhi asked me a beautiful question that if there's a woman who doesn't have a child, will this class help her getting pregnant?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fabulous possibility out there. We haven't even considered. We've not even looked at, right? It's like, yes, because our kids choose us. I'm a mother of 2 daughters. I've had rather difficult pregnancies and rather difficult deliveries. I've had a whole lot of miscarriages. I mean, if I'd had probably all the children that I did get pregnant with, I would probably have had 9 by now. Yeah, I had almost 6 or 7 miscarriages, which were painful, which were terrible, which put me into a whole lot of blame, shame, regret, guilt, that I'm not good enough, my body's not good enough. And what that started to show up was so much of judgment of my body right back then. So how many of us go through abortions? We go through miscarriages as a mother because at that moment of time, in those 10 seconds, it's not light or some whatever. Miscarriage is generally something that comes as a surprise, as a shock, as pain. But what if the child was just choosing something different? Okay, I tried her body, I've worked around with her, I'm choosing something different now. What if you don't have to go into the pain, shame, regret, guilt? Right? How much of that can change it? And how much of your parenting is based on that regret, on that guilt, on that shame, on that blame? I aborted a child, or I had a miscarriage, or I aborted a girl child, or I aborted and I had a girl child after hoping I would have a boy. And how much of all of that is the base of your parenting, guys? And again, what if there was no wrongness? What if there was no wrongness in all of that? What if it was just you being willing to look at it and ask, how can I change this now? And about getting pregnant again, what if we could just look at it and say, okay, what space, what energy can I be that can have a child choosing me? I have this hair that's kind of, what is this hair? Okay, so what if you can start to ask, what energy can I be that can have a being choose my body, choose me to be a mother or his mother? I mean, what if you just asking that question can have one of the beings around hear you and say, yes, that's the body, that's a space that she's willing to be for me.
Hmm.
And of course, asking the question, is this even the time? I mean,
Is this even the time means?
So when women are wanting to get pregnant, when their husbands are saying, oh my God, we've been married so many years, abhi tak had a baby, something wrong with you, go to the doctor, go to this, go to that. What if your body is not ready to be pregnant? What if your body is not willing to have a baby? Is this even? And when you ask your body will tell you, guys. It's not because everybody has a baby within a year or 2 of marriage. You too have to. And it's not that if you don't get pregnant, guys, it's not a wrongness. It's not a wrongness. Please know that. It's a choice that your body is making. It's a choice that the beings around you are making. What if you just could change your energy at that moment and you could start to create something different? You could become the invitation for a being. Right?
Yeah.
That's about mothers, about teachers, about fathers. How much of a role do fathers play in parenting? I mean, this society, this reality has told them you have to get the money, you have to pay the school fees, you have to make sure that they go abroad to study, you have to make sure then that they get married to a good person. If they don't get married to a good person, you have to step in and help make their marriage work. Wow. Look at the roles. Look at the responsibility. Once a parent, always a parent. What is that? What is that responsibility on a parent? What is that? Is that even being kind to you, to the choices that your kids are making? And then you are trying to create your life. You're trying to have a reality. You're trying to have a relationship with probably people around you. And you're like, it's not happening. Why isn't it happening? That's because you're so embroiled in your children's life that you make them your primary relationship, and you actually have nothing left that can have you create something with you. There's so much in this, friends. And of course, then there's a completely different aspect to the children. I mean, children, how many unspoken and how many spoken expectations are there from your children? The child is barely born, he's barely conceived, and if the father or a mother is a doctor, you already decided the child will be a doctor. So the expectations, the projections start when? It starts when you are told that you are pregnant. It starts when you get that test done, pregnancy test done, and you get a positive. Your expectations start right there, friends. And when you're projecting that on that little being who's chosen your body, can you imagine what the being is actually receiving? What if a being wants to make a different choice? Is it going to listen to you? Surprisingly enough, kids, beings at that stage, have a totally different outlook. They're not going to do what you want them to do. They've chosen you because they can control you. They have chosen you because you are the only people in the whole wide world that they can control with ease, with no problem. So you keep expecting, projecting, and creating a separation and a limitation and judging them when they don't do that. It's like all the
थोड़ा
time.
पीछे लो, इतना ये पीप 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 इतना नजदीक जाके क्यों रोकते हो पूरा टाइम पीप पीप पीप.
Yeah. So what if you're actually looking at all of that and the expectations, the projections, the judgments? Where do judgments come in from? From your expectations, from your projections. When they are not met, then you judge them as not good enough. And when they are met, you say, wow, my kids are the best. Both are judgments. But that what happens? You start to separate from the child's knowing. The child starts to separate from your knowing. The child starts to separate from his knowing. The child starts to separate from his choices. And that leads to this confusion of a reality, a completely conflictual reality. So what you're creating there is then this conflictual reality between your kids and you. And you're deciding and you're concluding that this is how it has to be. And the child is saying a no because he knows that's not what it's actually going to create any happiness or any joy for him. But what is he doing? He's working towards creating that. So is he really going to be successful? Is he really going to choose to create happiness? And when I say successful, for a child, success is being happy. That's it. The word success for a child is just the energy of being happy. He doesn't care if he's in a race and he doesn't come first. He's just having fun running with his friends. He's happy. He's successful. He's number one. And then comes first, second, third. And what is projected on him is that he failed. He didn't get the first prize in running. He didn't get the second prize in running. He didn't even come third. So then he decided that running is no longer fun. And he stops running. How much of his body does he start to abuse when he does that? Because his body loves to run. Oh, so everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it all, please? And everywhere
Yes.
that was projected and it projected on all of you, and everywhere that you feel the pain even today in your body, that you don't recognize for what it is, can you please destroy and uncreate all of that?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on 9 shots, boys and beyond. Yeah. So it's like you're looking at the source. I got to change this. I got to change this. But you're not willing to be aware of it. You're looking for it, but you're not willing to be aware of it. You're not willing to be aware of what is that energy that is stopping me from being greater. At what age is a child taught judgment? I would say the minute the child is born. Right? Because the child receives the energies. The child receives that, oh, I'm not good enough. So how much of all of that is what we have created our lives on? What if conscious parenting, conscious kids, CPCK, is actually about you being the kid, about you parenting as you were parented, and recognizing where you are being what you are being because of all those points of views that were put on you as a child, as a kid. And what if your life today can change? What if your life today, what if your choices today can be different? If we could start to pot and pock everywhere that you chose to buy into your parents, your teachers, society, your friends' parents, and so on and so forth. Everywhere you bought their points of views is real. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on 9 shots, boys and beyonds. So yes, it starts with pregnancy. It starts with you being a child. It starts with you being a child trying to be the parent. So is this only for parents? Is this only to teach you how you're supposed to teach your children? It actually goes much deeper. It goes into the very womb of your reality. It goes into the very womb of your existence. So would you like to really choose this class? I wonder, are you really going to be brave enough to? Huh, Saurabh? I'd love to have you on, sweetheart, and ask me some questions and give me your points of views too.
Sure.
So what is it that all of you here have that you would like to change? What is that one thing that you would like to change here? I'm going to just finish with this call because it was more of just a little introduction. And Saurabh, I'd love you to come in, and Saurabh and Nidhi, and let everyone know when we have the class and what is about the day. It's actually going to be a live class in Delhi. The first one.
Hello.
Yeah, Nidhi?
Yeah. No, your voice broke in between, so I couldn't hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, so I was just saying, probably I'll get the dates out there. So the 20, no, what is the date we looked at for Delhi?
It was 15th.
15th, right.
15th.
15th, yeah, 15th is a Sunday, and 15th is the class in Delhi in Defense Colony, C349. And the time is, what is the time? What is
2 to
the
5?
Sorry?
2 to 5?
2 to 5. Was it 2 to 5? Let me check.
Did I?
2 to 6, I suppose.
Is that? Just check. We have different timings for different classes. Okay. Yeah, it's 2 to 6. And it's in C349 Defense Colony. And it's for 5,500. Your children, if they are below 16, are free. Please bring them. It's going to be amazing what our shifts for them. Even if they don't ask questions, it's going to be amazing, guys. So that's going to be, and of course, 17 and 18 is half price, which would be, now, yeah, 2,700, I think, something like that. Yeah. And above that, of course, is full price. And that is a live class in Delhi that we have. And then we have an online class, which I have wonderful Rushi and fabulous Kanika, my beautiful friends from Hyderabad, who initiated this. And what are the dates? Girls? I think we looked at the 29th. So 29th April is 10 to 2 is an online class. Okay, so if you are in Delhi, I would love you to be there in person, because it'll be wonderful. Get your kids and we can interact and we can play some games also, and probably we'll see what can change, right? There are going to be some little fun games that I'm going to introduce, not just for your parents, but not just for you as parents, but for your kids. All right. So please feel free to get in touch with Saurabh Bidani or with Nidhi Sharma for Delhi. And of course, you can always text me too to ask more. And yeah, what else? What else for the class?
The online one is open for Delhi also?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's open for everybody all over the world, in fact, because this is going to be, it's going to be, I don't know really where it takes us right now, but it started with somebody from Pathankot, a wonderful friend, sweet friend of mine, Sanjeevani, asking for the class. And then it started with Rushi and Kanika saying, it has to be in Hyderabad. So I was like, okay, let's just get this out there as an online class. But, yeah, let's look at the class that's a live class too first, right? Because how much fun can we have with interaction with one another?
Yeah, I'm for one really looking forward to the class, because one question that every one of us asks, including my friends, is how can we leave a better world for our kids?
Wow, how true, Saurav. How true. That is so beautiful. Yes. I mean, what if we could actually show them the possibilities? That's where the name of my class came up, because they said this is a conscious parents, conscious kids class, and come up with your own name for the class. So the name that came up was the next generation of possibilities. What if that is what we could actually show and give to our kids? How much fun could we have? Right? So this class is not about rules, it's not about the right and the wrong. It's more about creating possibilities. It's about creating major possibilities. So Namrata, oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. What else is possible? I would love to see you in class. And Rushi, looking forward to deep parents after judgments class. Oh yes, probably we'll have a judgment class on parents too. Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm going to wind up here. And any more questions, please feel free to just ask my wonderful host. All right? And what else is possible? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chandana.
Thank you, everybody
Thank
else.
you.
Thank you, Chandana.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.